Hope you enjoy everyone. Thanks for watching. This is Sellavin now. Giving my latest review on Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, episode 144, The Cursed Gear Mask. This was one of the best episodes in a while. I just wish this had a lot more time, more episodes, thin the herd and more development a little bit. Anyway, let's get started. Yuya arrives in the Xyz Dimension, and what's waiting for him is Dennis, They find out how they've been waiting for him for a while, this is a part of his test so he can duel Kurosaki, however, he has to duel Dennis because Dennis himself is a member of the Lancers, even though he betrayed them and all stuff. The only way they move forward is to duel Dennis. We get to hear from Alice and Sayaka, they get to dueling, It's pretty crazy when you think about it, We get to see how they duel. We get to see Dennis, he plays the villain. He does this so well, he even puts on that villain mask that he did when he did that street performance in the Secret Dimension with him and Gogenzaka. That was a good duel, I really enjoyed that one. That's gonna be my favorite. That's one of my favorites from their series, early on, I really enjoyed that. It's similar to that, trying to entertain people, give them a. However, these are not actually these. We get to see the same family, those same homeless people who were beaten and deserted after what happened when when Academy attacked the Synchro Dimension, there's still people that are still afraid of dueling and what happened, Even though they still remember Yuya and all how good he did, there are still people who are afraid of what happened. They can't trust anybody. They can't trust dueling, which means that it's up to Yuya's hope to spread the joy of dueling and entertainment throughout the dimensions. Like he has to repair the damage that has been done. That's why Akaba Renji chose this for this mission. That's why he was chosen for this mission. He did a lot of pain and damage when he was Zark, and Academia did so many bad things. It's up to him to mend the dimensions and bring happiness back. That duel is pretty awesome. We get to see Dennis using some new entertainment and performance monsters. He using using them, and he summons out He's Force Witch along with Pendulum Summoning. We haven't seen Speed's Force Witch since he dueled Kite. That was a good duel that he had with Kite. It was one episode. Kite was one of the best. Seeing this, seeing how they went back and forth and all this. This is a test for Yuya to see who's the best entertainment duelist. Because Dennis, even though he was a spy for Academia, he admired Yuya's father, and he did know about entertainment dueling from him. So. Yuya being Yugioh's son, who better to test his abilities with? I still wish we got this earlier on, This is one of the problems with Arc 5, They're wrapping up the script, but they're not doing it so good. Hey Dylan, if you're watching this, when I get on your podcast, you and I are gonna discuss what duel should have been and what should have happened, Make a whole fantasy duel thing, like you, me, Rarity Franco, or whatever, whoever you want to pick, we all come up with ideas and whatever, and like a fantasy duel, so like get people, like what happened, what would have happened, and whatever, and like how we change the story, that's an idea. Anyway, as the story continues, things are getting very, very good, Seeing this, I really enjoyed how. We get to see more and more people. We even get to see Edo and the Tyler twins, Grace and Gloria. I really like how Grace is all fangirling out on Yuya. And we get to see the Gloria. She's like, just being her usual mean self, She can't stand that her sister's all fangirling about Yuya. It's pretty funny. Some of the shippers out there are probably pretty happy, but we all know who Yuya's heart lies with. Not that I'm quoting shippers, but enough about that. However, I got to explain that even though they're trying to mend the pain between what happened between Heartland and Academia, the people are still not willing to trust them, Yuya is the only person who can mend the pain. Even though they're trying their best, they're still not willing to trust them, which is pretty sad when you think about it. I feel sad. All they went through, and remember, the Academia, the whole Heartland arc was very shorter than the rest. How they spent the first half, trying to mend it, and the second half they went to Academia, and then there was the whole meeting Asuka and everything, and then there was a whole, chasing Yuzu, and then the reveal of Zark, It's really auspicious when you think about it, It's really complicated. It's also the question on who is going to be the final villain and who's Yuya's final opponent. Renji. Yeah. but it's still what you call very gritty, you know. But Yuya knows he has to know what he has to do. He has to pass this test, you know. Seeing how Yuya, you know, and Dennis, you know, he's not holding back. He used the equip card, which is called you know, ancient gear curse mask. You know, remember he's wearing a mask. He wore the mask of a friend and an enemy for a long time. You know, but there was a part of him that did regret what he did. You know, because he knows what he did. He started the hunting games. He did so many pain. He betrayed Yuya, Renji, and all the other Lancers for what he did. You know, there's still a part of him that still, you know, regrets what happened. And this is the test to see if Yuya can, you know, prove himself by defeating someone who is a lot like him, you know, who loves entertainment, however, has so many things on his shoulders, you know. One, say, trying to fight Academia, the other one working with Academia, you know. That's something you got to consider. As things goes, as time progresses, I really enjoy how well, you know, Yuya, you know, he summons out a new amount of entertainment, maybe a mirror magic, mirror rabbit, you know, using it to counter Dennis's abilities by getting all the damage straight to him, you know. He took the damage for Yuya, you know. It's definitely when he's crazy. However, Yuya, you know, he's not out of the woods yet. Even though he managed to do some damage, Dennis managed to summon back, you know, his monsters, and he sees summon his ace, entertainment, trapeze magician, you know. But Dennis does the other thing about how he makes Yuya, his monster, clash, you know, just so he can destroy it, just so he can use a rank up card. Seeing Dennis rank up was one of the best, and using his signature line, for the chant, show must go on. He summons out rank 5, entertainment, trapeze high magician. And this monster is a lot like Trapeze Magician, but it's a lot darker and more grittier than the last one. It's a level rank, but it has 2,700 attack points, which makes it stronger than Yuya's Odd Eyes, which is very gritty when you think about it. And this monster, not only can it negate magic and spell cards against it, it can attack 3 times in a single turn, which is way OP for any you know monsters we ever seen before. You know, for a single monster to have that many abilities, it's just 3 attacks and in one go. That is definitely good. But for Dennis, this seems like Yuya, he tries his best, you know, to outwit Dennis, you know, using his monsters, using his action cards. Even when things all a rush, he never gave up. You know, he always did his best against Dennis. You know, giving it his all. You know, even when he was flat on the ground, there were still people who still supported him. Like, for example, when Gloria was, you know, doubting Yuya a little bit, saying it out loud, some of the fans, you know, some of his Joyo, the young kids, you know, the younger kids, they, didn't want Yuya to lose. However, Yuya does the Adigo. He managed to come back even after all. He even has aces up his sleeves, turning the tide into his direction. And seeing how this is all taking place in Heartland, a city that went through so much pain, so much sadness, and so much sorrow because of one man's ambition. That man being Akabalio, you know, Renji's father. He's the one who did this. Now, however, they know that it happened, and they're trying to mend the wounds between Heartland, because Heartland is the one that suffered the most, you know. Seeing how Dennis did that dazzling thing around Trapeze Magician around the tower, it was pretty impressive when you think about it. It's like he's trying to bring the light back into Heartland, and those rings of light trying to show that that Dueling isn't dead. But there was that one man that was afraid that if they let themselves get into Dueling, they will suffer again. But the woman with the 2 kids tries to remind him that it's not going to happen. They're not going to get turned into cards again. That part of the nightmare is over. Because by seeing this Dueling, they're going to see this. However, Yuya, seeing this, he puts on a true dazzling performance. He uses a combo of not only Swordfish, his Odd Eyes, and Mirror Rabbit, and he does this loop thing. And one card, you know, allows his monster to attack over and over again, and another had his monster on the cover. It was called Challenging Star, or it was a continuous play card, and another looked like Yuya on the back. Yuya was on the cover holding a toy sword, like Yuya was on the cover It's called Hope Stairs. This monster, it would increase Yuya to attack again, but also increases his monster's attack points by 400 each time he attacks until the next standby phase. Basically, he created an infinite loop. He kept battling against Trapeze Magician and sacrificing all his monsters, both on the field and in the pendulum zones. He literally sacrificed all his monsters to increase his ace, Odd Eyes, by all that attack power so he can strike down Trapeze Magician. And when Trapeze was beaten and Dennis was about to fall, he saved him. Yuya saved Dennis, even though despite everything that Dennis did, everything that he did, all the pain that he caused, he's still Yuya's friend, and he's still willing to trust him. Seeing all those applause from all those people clapping, we get to see the people of Heartland, the Academia people, Grace Gloria, Edo, we even get to see Kai again, which is pretty cool, even though he didn't have a speaking role, which was a little bum, but Kai was awesome, having a Kai cameo was awesome. And one of the problems, with having the Heartland arc, there wasn't enough Heartland characters, And bring anybody from, not Yuma, but anybody. Oh my God! And when it ended, Yuya was asked by the kids to teach him how to entertainment, and he said that let Dennis Sensei teach you. And Sensei in Japanese means teacher, so basically he's letting Dennis be the one to teach them how to entertain. Putting his faith into Dennis, even though that this is a big risk, he's still willing to trust him after everything, which shows how much he trusts his friends and Yuya. The next part, that's how the episode ends. Him going to the Dimension Corridor. We get to see that Renji was also watching this. He thought that Yuya was going to summon Dark Rebellion using Mirror Rabbit and Swordfish, but instead he changed that strategy. And, he's just using Odd Eyes, which means that can Yuya still use Dark Rebellion? Or can he use the other 4 dragons, such as Clearwing and Star Venom? That's still what you call up in the air at this point, But I can't wait to see what happens next. It's going to be Yuya versus Kurosaki in the Fusion Dimension. And Kurosaki's going after Leo for answers, what happened to his sister, and the loss of his sister and his best friend devastated Kurosaki. I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. Because seeing Yuya versus Kurosaki, I can't wait. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And thank you. This is Sellavin Adams giving my latest review on Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, episode 144. I'm out. Peace. Bye.